Hello and welcome to my mini-series. I'm going to start a mini-series on doing Build the Spitfire. Build the Mark 1A Spitfire, which is the Hachette series of this lovely Spitfire. So in all my shots you'll see this, which is going to be my mascot. This is the Airfix one, the click together one, the simple click together Airfix Spitfire with D-Day markings. So you'll see this every time. It'll probably be behind me where the bus is there. A lot of people know me from building the Route Master, and so yeah, it'll be on the desk back there as my mascot for this Build the Spitfire. I'm going to try and do it alone, which is a big feat. I know. Yeah, glutton for punishment I am, obviously. But I'm going to try and do it alone and see where we go from there. I'm going to see if I can build it not live, but this program is being made a couple of hours before it's been shown, I would have thought. So yeah, I'm going to see if we can build it more or less live. And what I'm conscious of is that there's a lot of people out there in the community that sponsored me very graciously to do this Spitfire, and so I need to crack on and get some done with it, and get some building done and get it up to date if I can. It's going to take me a little while because there's issue 50 came out this week, so yeah, and I've only done issue 1, so it's going to take me a while. Anyway, let's pop that up there, and then we'll have a look through the magazines and everything that came with this fabulous build. And you'll have to bear with me a little bit because I'm a bit camera shy and all that, and I'm a bit, if I go near a computer it normally goes off. So right, so what came with issue 1? Well, lots of things came with issue 1 of Build the Mark-1A Spitfire, including this leaflet here, which is brilliant. It says bring the legend to life, and yeah, we're going to bring it to life. It's build your own 1/18 scale replica of the Spitfire Mark-1A, and it's based on the Sailor Milan's aircraft, and it's going to have rotating propellers. It's going to have high quality die-cast parts. It's going to have landing gear that actually works, and then it's got flight controls so that you'll see it moving around as it's simulating flight on the display board. It's going to have an opening cockpit, and then it's going to have a dynamic display base, a stand that it's on, and I do believe we do get some diorama figures with it as well. So yeah, exciting times ahead, especially when we come to the diorama bits and it's simulating flight. So yeah, as well as the magazine with everything that Hachette do, which is lovely as always. They always give you lots and lots of history and tips and things that happened in that era of whatever you're building. So obviously this was the Battle of Britain era, 1940, and then it gives you specifications of the model as well. So, and the specifications are it's going to be 510 millimeters in length. It's going to be 135 millimeters in height with the landing gear down, and it's going to be have a wingspan of 620 millimeters. That's 620 millimeters wingspan, and it's made from die-cast metal and plastic and fine details and steel screws, and the batteries are not supplied, so you have to supply your own batteries. So, and then of course there's a famous phrase there from Winston Churchill himself: never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by to so many to so few. So yeah, and that'll be the precedent that it sets all the way through the build. In here it tells you about the magazine, your parts and how to build it, and then it tells you about the story of the Spitfire, tells you about the fighter squadrons, it tells you about the air aces, and it tells you about the war in the air and Britain at war. and then it obviously always tells you what's coming the following week, or in this case it'll be what's coming the following 4 months, 4 weeks, sorry, every month. So yeah, you do get some free gifts with it. You do get a binder, a steel plate, and a mug, and then you get a personalized display plaque that you can put on your finished model. So what came in issue 1? Well, back in May 2020, I believe it was, I built issue 1. I did it as a special VE Day build, and this was issue 1 of Build a Spitfire, and that was the propeller blades and the nose cone, spinner and nose cone. So, and we built all this up into what they told us to build it up into, and you can see that the build's quite intense, and there's lots of things to do, lots of things to get the right way around and everything. And then we obviously had a look at the rest of the magazine, and me personally, I put this away with the rest of the parts that came in as they came in month by month. And in issue 2, as the next set of parts, you'll receive a motor and a motor housing together with a propeller gear and set to fit the spinner and propeller blades. So we're going to have a look at that today, issue 2, after I've shown you issue 1. And here's issue 1. So, and what I mustn't forget to do is put this nice cloth down before we do put our parts down on my build board. This is just a nice soft cloth from Boise's. You can more or less find them anywhere there. It's felt cloth, just so it won't scratch your parts, because at the end of the blades here all the way around and the nose cone, it will scratch very easily, so be very, very careful. Always build with something soft underneath your build board, and then you won't scratch your parts. There's quite a few out there in the community that's actually painting their parts and painting their Spitfires. I'm not going to bother in painting mine. I want mine as it comes out the packet, and that's just a personal preference. But I think it will look still stunning once it's done, even though it will be not painted other than what it comes as painted. So yeah, that was issue 1, putting the propellers together, and it was quite an easy job, really. I don't know that there's been 1 or 2 people that's had problems with the cogs inside. The cogs have been stripping. And yeah, they're metal nose cone and metal blades, and the really nice detail with the tips painted and everything. So yeah, that was issue 1. Right, so let's have a look at issue 2. So issue 2, you get the motor and gears for the spinner, and the parts checklist are motor housing and a motor housing. So these are the 2 black parts here, 1 motor housing, 2 motor housings, and then you get the propeller gear set, which is this one in the bag there. Okay, and then you would get sorry, I'm just trying to swallow. So you would get the motor, which is there, lovely little motor. Just to give you an idea of the size, that's my little finger against it. So, and then you would get 205, which would be the lower fuselage frame, which would be that. And this is where a lot of people have started painting them, because this green is actually wrong. So yeah, that's the lower fuselage, and then you would get the screws to fit it together. There's 2 lots of screws. There's PB screws and PM screws, and I do believe they are the same size. But if you notice that the PBs and the PMs are different, because some are silver and some are black. So, and it tells you in the magazine when you build it, which screws to use. Generally speaking, if it doesn't say, it's the black screws. If it does say, then it's the silver screws, so you can't get wrong. So that's the parts, and I think we ought to try and put some of these together if we can. So I'm going to be obviously cautiously doing it, and I'm using the magazine for guidance, and taking my time nice and steady, because there's no rush with this build. I am far behind. I'm 49 issues behind everybody else, but I'm pretty sure that I'll be able to catch up if I can. So what does it tell you to do first off then? Well, it tells you to get the spinner and the nose cone, and the spinner's here. Let me just move that up there, and then we can have a bit more room then to build something. And I'll put my nice stand up there. So Mark's Mod's got me a nice stand to stand magazines on, so I'm using that. Thank you very much, Mark. Much appreciated. And right, so let's put that up there, then I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so we need the spinner, and this plate that's underneath the spinner is only a temporary measure to stop it, to actually keep it in the right set there, so that you could actually set it. And it's nice to keep it in as well, to save it from being scratched. So yeah, we need the spinner and the nose cone. Where's the nose cone gone? It's behind the magazine, I reckon. Yeah, it's behind the magazine. And we're going to see if we can put this together how it wants us to pop it together. So remove the propeller assembly from the template, issue 1. Turn it over and see how the flat side of the mount is, 103. Is uppermost. Fit the assembly into the spinner nose cone. Right, okay, so it needs that flat bit there, I believe, and then that goes into there, and then you would turn it over, and you would then instantly see what would need to be done that way. Okay. Yeah, and it says ensure that the propeller mounts fit snugly into the spinner, 102, so that the propeller blades fit into the recesses. Note that there is a small peg on the propeller assembly, part 1, which locates into the notch in part 102. So I believe that might be that way around. There's the notch, and it would go that away into the notch that's in the nose cone, and you can tell that it actually fits in nice and snugly. So I'm going to need to now turn the page and go on to step 3, and step 3 is fit the propeller gear set 203 into the center of the spinner, 102. The curved tabs fit over the arms of the propeller. So this is the spinner, and I'll have to cut it out this bag. There we go. I do believe there might be some greased areas on here as well, so be very careful about the grease. So, and it does show in the diagram in the book of which way you have to place this onto the propellers. Okay, and I think it's just a case of lining. There's 3 holes in there and 3 holes there, and it's lining everything up so that it fits nice and snugly over the 3 holes that's in there, like that. Okay, and that fits in there nice and snugly, and then it would say fix in place with 3 2 times 4mm PM screws, blue arrows. The screws fit into the sockets in the spinner, 102, and the tabs into the gear set, 203. Fit neatly over the propeller arms below. So yeah, it shows you a second image with the screws in place and sat neatly over where it goes. So I'll just have to get these screws. I do believe they are black screws for this one. So if at all you think I'm doing this slightly wrong, I'd appreciate if you dropped me a comment, and then I can always revisit it and go back. So yeah, so that's one. I don't see that you should screw them all the way in right at the beginning. Just get them started nicely, and then we can hopefully pop these in. Okay, so that's 3. Then go around and tighten them up maybe, so that it fits nice and snugly. Snug as a bug in a rug. There we are. Okay. Knowing my luck, I got these the wrong way around. But we do live and learn, don't we? That's nice and tight. And get my screwdriver on it. They're going at a slight angle, actually. Maybe better with another screwdriver. These Wera screwdrivers are lovely. Lovely screwdrivers for this kind of job. And we picked these up when we was doing the root master, and yeah, that's in nice and tight now. So there's the spinner, and we're going on to step 4, and it says take the motor housing 202, slide it under the brass cylinders on part 203 as far apart as possible, so that you can fit into the channel in part 202 between the rims of the brass pieces indicated by the red arrows. The inset below shows the housing in place, and I do believe we have 2 of these housings, and it looks like to be that one. Okay, and that would be that way up. And just to check of course in the itinerary, and yeah, I reckon it is 202, it said, didn't it? So yeah, so we've got to now fit this into the housing, and hopefully I can get it right way around, and we're not going to be messing anything up. So yeah, maybe perhaps that way would work better. Yes, you've got to split them 2 brass cogs. Put one there and one there, and then we can hopefully fit that in. Is that the right one? I don't know. I'm a bit unsure. I think it's that way around actually. So I'm looking at the description. Yeah, looks like it could be that way around. So does the cog fit in there? And that fits there. No, I'm not sure. To be perfectly honest with you, I am not sure. So let's have a look at this one. Would it be this one? It could be that one. But then again, I'm not sure of that neither. So to me, it doesn't actually seem as though it's going to fit right. I'm not sure what to do with that one. Yeah. Well, I did actually say I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm sure some of you guys will help me out here by saying it's the right way around or the wrong way around. Actually looks like it goes there. So I'm still not convinced. Perhaps they go in between there. No, I'm not convinced. Can't get them in very well. Wonder if it goes there like that. And then that bit goes over there. Let's have a look, shall we? No, I don't think it does yet, because I think it's you've got to get the motor. Okay, motor, free end. And I don't think that's right somehow. I don't think that's right somehow. Let's have a look. See where we go. I think the motor would sit in there nicely. And that would sit over there nicely. Yes, it will. So it's just a case of sitting that in there now. Okay. Now then, I think it'll probably go something like this. Just getting my big fingers out of the way. How's about that? If I just nip that, oh yes, I would have thought that that's the way it goes. Yes, then brass bushes are out each side, and the motor is encapsulated in the box like that. And what I'll do is I'll pop a screw in, and because it says you run the curved sides out, teeth should be that we're engaged in the gear cock. Yes, it is. So turn the magazine over, and it's come to the time where we're popping a screw on. So let's have a look at these. And oh, guess what? We've put the wrong screws in. So that's me not reading ahead on the magazine. That's okay. At least I know which way this goes now. That's okay. So in there, we put 3 black screws, didn't we? Well, there should be 3 silver screws. They're actually exactly the same size. So all we've got to do really is swap them for a silver screw. And then we can maybe get onwards. So yeah, I'm not infallible, obviously. But I did say I was a bit unsure over which screw was, didn't I? So anyway, we live and learn. And no, nothing's come to any harm, because they are the same thread and everything, and they are the same width and what have you. So all I've got to do is try and line up my screws on my screwdriver, which is acting up a little bit, isn't it? So let's try this screwdriver. So okay, now we've had a good laugh. Hopefully I can apply a bit more science to it now and read the magazines a bit thoroughly. No, everybody makes mistakes, don't they? But yeah, God knows I've made enough. I made enough mistakes when we was building the Route Masters. But yeah, nothing that can't be fixed. But yeah. Did I take that screw out? I don't think I did. There we are. Okay, so just one more screw to take out, and then we'll get back to popping this gearbox back on and getting back on track, eh? If anybody says that it's easy live building, definitely isn't easy. I'll put a note in the description that I haven't edited anything, and I haven't edited anything at all. I don't actually believe in editing very much, because, you know, if you're going to make a mistake, then I'd much rather see that mistake, and I'd much rather see it righted again. Right, so let's go back to this motor and see what we can do. We have to split them like that. We have to get one of these sides, and we have to put it there, and we have to get the motor. Just get this in the right place. There we are. We have to get the motor and pop the motor in so that it meshes with the cogs, and then we have to put the cap over it like that, and then we have to put two PB 2.4mm black screws in. So yes, black screws, guys, not silver ones. And it'll hold together with the two black screws. So, God, I'm shaking like a leaf. I don't know why. I'm a bit nervous though, guys. It's only really well, it's the first time of me building something on my own. And why am I doing it on my own? Well, I think I've got to try and get used to it, haven't I? Said I would never build on my own at one point. Good friend of ours, a YouTuber, said, "Oh, Dave, you should build on your own. You'd make a good builder." And I always said to him, no, I don't want to build on my own. And it's taken me, nearly 3 years to actually get something done on my own. So there we are. Right, so we've got two of them screws in, and that's the completed work. And we're not doing nothing with that bit this issue. That's the next issue, is the fuselage bit there. So completed work is the gears and motor have been fitted to the spinner, complete with propellers, and part 205 will be fitted in a future issue. Store the parts carefully until you need them next time. So this is issue 1 and 2 of Build the Spitfire. I'll just pop them there on this felt thing there, and then you can just see what I've done. Put my screwdrivers out the way, and then we'll change cameras and we'll have a bit of a chat. And that's after I've had a bit of orange, that is. Right, so that's step 1 and 2 completed for the Spitfire. And oh, come on, camera. There we are. So 1 and 2 have been completed for the Spitfire. So there we are, guys. There's the spinner and the motor all together, and then we've been asked to keep the fuselage bit there safely until next time around. So hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you've had a good laugh. You know, I don't mind you laughing at me at all, because we all make mistakes at some point. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into it now an awful lot more. And I want to get it sorted, and I want to catch up with everybody else. So I may do 2 or 3 or even 4 or 5 or 6 issues a week, depending on what time I've got. So anyway, this is me signing off, and thanks ever so much for watching. Drop me a nice thumbs up, please, if you wouldn't mind, and a nice comment. All appreciated. So with having said that, it's goodbye from me. See you next time around. Bye bye now.